Imagine a moment where everything hangs in the balance, where a single decision could change the course of your life and the life of someone you love. This is where our story begins, in the bustling heart of New York City, with a young woman named Sarah. Sarah, at just 26, carried the weight of the world on her slender shoulders. As a single mother, every day was a tightrope walk between hope and despair. Her son, Leo, a bright-eyed toddler with an infectious giggle, was her universe, her everything. But today, even his joy couldn't erase the gnawing fear in her stomach. Leo needed formula, and her pockets were painfully, frustratingly empty. She looked down at the worn, antique ring clutched in her hand. It was a family heirloom, passed down from her grandmother, a piece she'd always cherished but never truly understood its value beyond sentimental worth. Now, it was her last resort, her only key to Leo's next meal. The raw, palpable fear in her eyes was a silent prayer for a miracle. Every parent understands that knot in their stomach, that universal ache of wanting to provide. It's a primal instinct, a silent vow whispered to the heavens. I will do anything for my child. As she walked the busy streets, the skyscrapers seemed to mock her desperation, their gleaming facades reflecting a world she felt increasingly distant from. Yet, that unwavering love for Leo pushed her forward, making her take this heartbreaking step. What choice did she have? It was a sacrifice, yes, but one born from the deepest well of maternal love. Little did Sarah know, this seemingly desperate act was about to unlock a legacy far richer than she could ever imagine. What if the very thing you were about to give away held a secret that could change everything? Sarah took a deep breath, the polished brass doors of Jensen & Company reflecting her nervous silhouette. This was one of New York's most prestigious jewelry stores, a place where she felt utterly out of place. Her heart pounded a frantic rhythm against her ribs. She was met by Mark Jensen, a man in his late 30s with a quiet confidence and eyes that seemed to see beyond the surface. He gestured for her to sit, and Sarah, hands trembling slightly, presented the ring. It's a family piece, she stammered, her voice barely a whisper. I need to know what it's worth. She expected him to offer a few $100s, enough for a week's worth of formula, maybe a little extra. Enough to get by. Mark took the ring, turning it gently under the soft light of the display case. He didn't rush, his movements precise, almost reverent. He pulled out a jeweler's loupe, examining every facet, every delicate engraving. His expression was unreadable at first. Then it shifted, a subtle furrow of his brow, a flicker of something akin to surprise in his eyes. He disappeared into a back room, and the suspense built, stretching taut like a violin string. Sarah's breath hitched in her throat. Did I do something wrong? Is it worthless? When he returned, his voice was calm, but carried an undeniable weight. Sarah, he began, placing the ring gently back on a velvet pad. This isn't just an old ring. This is an authentic piece from the early 1900s, possibly from European royalty. We'll need to do a full appraisal to confirm, but my initial assessment tells me its value is closer to $50,000. The world tilted on its axis for Sarah. 50,000? The words hung in the air, surreal, impossible. A dizzying wave of disbelief, then an overwhelming rush of relief washed over her. Tears pricked at her eyes, tears she fought back, not of sadness, but of pure, unadulterated hope. This wasn't just about formula anymore. This was a lifeline, a future. For Leo. But Mark wasn't finished. Sarah, he continued, his gaze direct and sincere. I've been in this business a long time. I see a lot of people walk through these doors, and I rarely see the kind of genuine spirit you possess, the kind of integrity. My store, it's known for luxury, yes, but I want it to be known for something more. For heart, for trust. He paused, taking a breath. I don't just want to buy your ring. I want to offer you a partnership. I want to teach you this trade, bring your perspective, your warmth into Jensen & Company. We could build something truly special together. It was an unheard of proposition. A partnership with a stranger? But as Sarah looked at Mark, she saw not just a shrewd businessman, but a man who saw her, not her desperation, but her strength. The tension released, replaced by a surge of overwhelming, incredulous joy. The audience, too, could feel that tension melt away, replaced by the warmth of an unexpected blessing. What would you do if you suddenly discovered a hidden treasure? Let us know. As Sarah tentatively stepped into this new world, little did she know, the ring still held another, even more profound secret waiting to be discovered. Sometimes a new door opens, only to reveal a corridor leading to a forgotten past. Sarah, still reeling from the shock, accepted Mark's audacious offer. It felt like stepping onto a runaway train, exhilarating and terrifying all at once. Jensen and company began to transform, not just in its operations, but in its very soul. Sarah, with her innate empathy and genuine approach to every customer, brought a warmth and authenticity that Mark hadn't realized was missing. She quickly proved to be a natural, her keen eye for detail matched only by her ability to connect with people on a human level. We see a montage unfold. Sarah, initially awkward, then confidently learning about different gemstones, polishing intricate settings, and engaging with clients, her smile now genuine and relaxed. Leo, no longer a source of financial anxiety, plays happily in a small, designated corner of the store, his giggles echoing against the polished displays, a living symbol of their new, stable life. The business didn't just thrive, it flourished, built not just on exquisite jewelry, but on a foundation of trust and human connection. Sarah's initial pride in her new role evolved into deep gratitude for Mark's belief in her. The quiet joy of building a stable life for Leo was a treasure in itself. One crisp autumn afternoon, an elderly, distinguished gentleman entered Jensen and Company. His name was Mr. Harrison, a renowned art and antique collector, known for his discerning eye and vast knowledge. He moved with a quiet grace, his gaze sweeping over the glittering displays until his eyes landed on a familiar piece, the ring. The very ring Sarah had brought in. His hand trembled slightly as he reached for it. "Forgive me," he murmured, his voice laced with a tremor, "but this ring belonged to my sister, Eleanor Vance." Sarah and Mark exchanged a stunned glance. Mr. Harrison explained that Eleanor had disappeared decades ago, during a tumultuous period in their family's history. She was a woman of immense courage and compassion, but also fiercely independent. The family had searched for years, eventually believing her lost forever, perhaps even passed away. The ring, he explained, was a unique family heirloom, passed down through generations of the Vance family, easily identifiable by a distinctive crest hidden within its intricate design. The air in the store crackled with anticipation. The audience, too, could feel the growing intrigue, the weight of history pressing in, and the thrilling possibility of a profound, impossible connection. What family heirlooms hold secrets in your own life? Share your stories. The pieces of a long-lost puzzle were finally coming together, revealing a lineage far grander than Sarah could have ever imagined. What if the roots of your past stretched further and deeper than you ever knew, connecting you to a forgotten legacy? Mr. Harrison, his eyes glistening with unshed tears, began to share the incredible, heartbreaking story of his sister, Eleanor Vance. Eleanor, he explained, had come from an old, established family, but during a time of great personal upheaval and societal change, she had chosen to disappear, to change her identity, and start anew. She wanted to escape the rigid expectations of her wealthy, aristocratic background and carve out a life on her own terms, one where she could truly make a difference. She had chosen a new name, a new city, and, sadly, lost all contact with her past. He brought out old, yellowed photographs, a striking woman with kind eyes, unmistakably Sarah's grandmother. He showed them family records, documents that detailed the Vance lineage, one of significant influence and old money. It became undeniably clear. Eleanor Vance was Sarah's grandmother, and that meant Sarah, The young woman who just weeks ago was struggling to buy formula was the rightful heir to the vast Vance family fortune. Estates, investments, a legacy spanning generations. This revelation was monumental. The world, or at least the small circle of those in the know, expected her to embrace this new life of luxury, to leave her humble beginnings and her blossoming partnership with Mark behind. But Sarah, guided by the lessons of her own struggle, by the kindness she'd received from Mark, and by the profound love for her son, made a powerful, unconventional choice. She acknowledged her heritage, embracing the connection to a grandmother she never knew. There was a bittersweet understanding of Eleanor's sacrifice, a quiet pride in her strength. But Sarah, with unwavering resolve, chose not to abandon the life she'd built, the partnership with Mark, or the values she held dear. Instead, she decided to leverage a significant portion of her newfound inheritance for a greater purpose. She established the Eleanor Vance Foundation, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting single mothers and their children, providing them with the same lifeline, the same unexpected second chance that she so desperately needed. Mark's quiet pride and steadfast support for her decision only solidified their bond. The audience could feel the emotional weight of destiny, the triumph of character over circumstance, and the inspiring power of selfless giving. How would you use a sudden, unexpected fortune to make a difference? Tell us your vision. And so, the story of a ring, a single mother, and an unexpected legacy culminated in a beautiful testament to love, partnership, and the enduring power of kindness. The greatest treasures are not found in vaults, but in the hearts we touch and the lives we change. The Eleanor Vance Foundation became a beacon of hope in New York and beyond, transforming countless lives, just as Sarah's own life had been transformed. It stands as a living tribute to her grandmother's quiet strength and Sarah's compassionate spirit, a testament to the ripple effect of one woman's choice to put others first. Meanwhile, Jensen and Company flourished, not just as a successful business, but as a symbol of ethical practice and genuine human connection in the sometimes cold world of luxury. Sarah and Mark's partnership deepened into a profound love, a connection forged in shared values and mutual respect. They eventually married, their union a beautiful testament to what happens when two good hearts come together, building a life not just for themselves, but for their community. Their story, born from a moment of desperation, evolved into a powerful narrative of resilience, integrity, and the extraordinary ripple effect of kindness. It's a reminder that true value isn't just in what something is worth in dollars, but in the stories it carries, the connections it fosters, and the good it inspires. This isn't just a fairy tale. It's a blueprint for how empathy and purpose can transform not just individual lives, but entire communities. If Sarah's incredible journey resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe for more stories of resilience and hope, and click on this video next to discover another inspiring tale of ordinary people achieving extraordinary things. Let's continue to spread kindness, one story at a time.